there everyone, my name is Caitlin, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the How I Read tag. I was tagged to do this by Tyler over at Tyler Talks Books. I'll put his links down below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. How'd you find out about new books to read? It depends. It really depends. Sometimes I find it by bookshelf tours when I find a new booktuber that I really like. I see they read a bunch of different types of books. What I'll do is I'll watch their bookshelf tours and I'll find the stuff that they point out the most in those bookshelf tours, because that's generally someone's favorite books or books that have made them think the most if they really talk about it in one of those videos. Another thing I do is if it's like another series I really like, or like another book that I really like, or it's an author that I really like their writing, I'll read through all their books. A prime example of this is Rick Riordan. This is the new book that I need to continue to read. I got through a couple pages of this, but I was sick when I started reading it, so I need to continue reading it. I read the Percy Jackson series completely, and then I read the Heroes of Olympus series, and the Demigod Files, and then the Demigod Diaries, and then I started reading Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, which I'm still reading through that, and I got Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes as well, so I'm kind of obsessed with Percy Jackson. But because of that, I've gotten more into Greek mythology and learning about it, so I went to the Parthenon, prime example, and I got this book, which is probably overpriced, but I got it at the Parthenon, because that's always a fun trip, because I'm from an area near Nashville, so I know how to get there, and I can get there for pretty cheap, so... Oedipus Rex, Oedipus at the Colonus, and Antigone, or I don't know how you say that. There's still a price tag on this book. This is 3 different plays. I got this because we read about the Oedipus complex from Sigmund Freud in my English class. So I also learned stuff for my classes, so I go to a mixed kind of school where I'm in high school, but I go to school on a college campus, and since I'm in college campus classes, I get to talk to college-age students, so people who are like a few years older than me, or a year older than me now, and also my professors who are really well read in the humanities courses, so I get to learn a lot of the books they like, and that's where I get some book recommendations as well. Then another person that I get them from is Tyler over at Tyler Talks Books, because we're always talking about books on Twitter, mainly Brandon saying, how did you get into reading? My mom. She was taking me to the library before I could read for myself, and I kind of grew up in that library, and I've just been reading ever since. How has your taste in books changed as you've gotten older? Okay, so when I was really young, I really liked girly chapter books and stuff like that when I was really young. I hated Harry Potter when I was really young because it was something my dad liked, and I never really picked it up for myself. Then middle school came around, and I read Harry Potter all the way through, loved Harry Potter, and then I read Twilight after that, and I went through the Twilight phase, so all the young adult fantasy, urban fantasy, romance books I was really into in middle school. And then I got out of that phase when I reread Harry Potter, and I got into sci-fi and fantasy. And then I got into middle grade books when I was in high school. In my freshman year, I read the entire Cirque du Freak series, almost the entire Cirque du Freak series in that summer, in the month before I actually started high school. And then I started reading all these middle grade books that I hated when I was in middle school, and I started to love them. And I reread Harry Potter again at that point, and then I kind of quit reading for a bit, because I was so busy with other high school stuff. And then I switched schools to the school I'm currently at, and I had no friends, so you know what I did? I read all the time. I started reading Dan Brown. I read a lot of military memoirs because my dad got me into that, so I read American Sniper, Lone Survivor. And then I found Fives and 25s, which isn't a memoir, it's fiction, realistic fiction, which I really loved. And then I got into more middle grade, I guess. I read Harry Potter again, and then I started reading Percy Jackson, and now I'm at this whole Greek mythology phase. So that's how we got here. How often do you buy books? Not that often, actually. I really love going to the library. But when I do buy books, it's for very cheap. There's a store called McKay's in Nashville, and it's also in 2 other locations. I forgot where. Get a bunch of books that I know I'm either not going to read, or I've read and they're not really my favorites, or I'm not planning on rereading them again. I take them from my shelves, I take them to McKay's. I get trade credit so I can buy more books in McKay's, which their books are very cheaply priced. Like that Sophocles book I had was $1.50 with no tax because I used my trade credit. I can take a bag of books and get like $30 and get like 20 books with that. So if I do go to McKay's, it's like once every 4 or 5 months that we go, unless it's like around this time around Christmas and New Year, because that's when we have more time to go, I guess. Plus I personally have more birthday money to buy books with. But if I do buy books, it's very rarely and it's for very cheaply. I tend to just go with the library for my books or my backlog of books. How did you get into booktubing? I like books and I like watching booktube videos, and I have some close friends that are booktubers. So Ashley at Ashley V Books started one, and then Tess at Tea with Tess, I believe. Oh god, I feel so bad. But Tess has a YouTube channel now, and me and Tess and Ashley knew each other from when we did gaming videos, and now we've all switched to book videos. And I also met Tyler from Tyler Talks Books with gaming community and found out he really likes books, and he started BookTube. How do you react when you don't like the ending of a book? When I don't like the ending of a book, I don't freak out normally. Except for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I hated the epilogue, and in which that case I pretend it's not real and I look for fan fiction that has a better ending. That's about it, actually. A lot of people hated the ending of the Heroes of Olympus series. I'm not going to spoil it. I liked it. It wasn't as climactic as I thought it would be, but I liked it. And it's open ending. I really love open-ended endings that aren't as amazing as I pictured them to be, because that's when fan fiction comes in and you can kind of change the ending to what you thought it should be. So I don't really freak out over bad endings of books, and if I really do freak out over a bad ending, it's because it was a bad book, at least in my perspective. How often have you taken a sneaky look at the back page of a book to see if it's a happy ending? I rarely do that anymore because I really love to be surprised. Like when I was reading the Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus series, I really loved the series and I wanted to watch all these book talks and I wanted to move on in the series, but I was getting them from the library, so I didn't really have the time to get them. But I forced myself to not look because it's just those type of books I really want to be surprised. But when it comes to a book that's really hard for me to currently get through and I just need to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I will look to the back, and if I don't like the back, then I'll just realize, hey, this isn't my book, and I'll put it down and I'll find a book that I really want to read. How many people are you going to tag, and who are they? I'm just going to open this tag out to anyone who's watching this who hasn't done this, specifically Tess. You should do this video because I don't think you've done it, but a lot of people have done it, so I just kind of wanted to put it out there. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Go watch more of these. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.